Good evening and welcome to Good Night Meditation. So, today's topic is new consciousness. As soon as we hear the word new, I think most of us, when we hear the word new, a feeling of joy, a feeling of enthusiasm, curiosity comes to mind. So, I would say this today we're going to play with a theme or with a meditation that brings about new awareness and new consciousness. So when usually when somebody asks us, who are you? So we have all these different identities that comes to mind. For example, the strongest identity that first comes to mind is I'm a female or a male, or the profession, I'm a teacher, I'm a student, or the hobbies that we are into. And we define and describe all these bodily identities that we are surrounded with, and we use it in our daily life, during our actions, during our work. And so let's call that as the identities which are old. So why would I call it old? Because we often use those identities even right now. Just check yourself. What identity is right now playing in your mind? The thoughts will tell you exactly what identity is right now in your feelings, in your thoughts. It could be identity, like I said, of the gender, or identity of how good I look, or from outside, or an identity of how smart I am, or even could be an identity I'm not so good. So these are the different identities when someone's asked who you are. And so let's name it as all identities. And these identities are all limited. I would say limited because they are defining and describing the bodily identities. They're all connected to the body. So the gender is connected to body. The role that I'm playing, a profession, is all bodily connected. And these identities are limited because they are temporary. They only exist or remain till the body, until the body is there, or even temporary, meaning the profession keeps changing, the body keeps changing. So these identities are always changing. They're inevitable, and change is a part, it's constant of these identities. So now, this meditation today, we will shift this awareness from this limited identity, limited consciousness, to an unlimited, vast consciousness where I become aware and understand and experience my true self as being this tiny star, shining star point of light. And this is my true self. And I use this body or adapt this body and started to become so trapped in the bodily consciousness, or we call it old consciousness. And the new consciousness just solves all the problems, because as soon as I withdraw myself from this consciousness of the body and the physical world, and shift awareness within to the self as a shining star, the one that is always imperishable and can never be destroyed, unlike the body, can, and the identity of this, the living star, is, I would say, eternal, because imperishable, eternal, that means cannot be destroyed by anyone or anything. So let's just sit comfortably and try to get into the experience as I um, guide you into the commentary. Just follow those directions and try all the other thoughts to just merge, or all the other thoughts to just pass and don't pay attention to them, and just immerse your mind in this beautiful consciousness of being a living star, new consciousness, a beautiful consciousness that resolves all the turmoil of the mind. So for this, let's sit comfortably and take a deep breath in. Inhale. And slowly exhale and full focus on the breath. Inhale again. And become aware of all the thoughts that are going in the mind. And just let them pass, as if each one is a cloud by itself and popping out of the ear. And try not to analyze or link your other thoughts to the thoughts that are in the mind. Don't expand on them, just let them pass, as if you're watching scenes on a TV screen. And then slowly you'll find that the mind is getting into a deep silence as you let these thoughts pass. Now bring this consciousness, shifting this consciousness from whatever the thoughts are of the body and the bodily world. Shift and withdraw inside. And visualize yourself as this shining star in the center of the forehead. Living conscious being. And try not to pay attention to any other thoughts. Just this one consciousness and thought of I am this living star. The one that's inside this body cannot be seen with these eyes, but you can see yourself with the eye of your mind. This beautiful being of light is free from all worries, all stress, and its innate quality is peace. That means my true nature is peace. And I am not this body. I am this living star that enters or adapts this body in my mother's womb. I am the living energy that gives life to the body. And body is temporary. All bodily identities are temporary and can change at any time. But I, the living consciousness, lives forever, eternal, immortal being of light. Just stay in this silence and experience the peace, which is the innate quality of me, the soul, the living energy. You don't have to look outside for peace into things and worldly things. This peace is just within me. I experience this as soon as I shift from bodily consciousness to the new consciousness. Every time I shift, I find a new discovery within me. Discovery of peace, happiness, joy, stillness, and try to experience and get into that feeling of that newness. Now, just feel as if you're slowly floating into the sky, being the being of light, and the body remains here. And you're floating and touching the sky as if free from all bondages and all identities of this physical, temporary world. Into the sky. Freedom. I can even touch clouds, the moon. And check your feelings. If the thoughts wander around, bring it back to the guided meditation. And then slowly come back from the sky as if you're coming into a return journey with this new awareness that I am this freedom, living conscious being made of light. I come back into the body that is given to be my nature. And take a deep breath in and breathe out. Another deep breath in. As you inhale, feel that peace and that freedom. Flow into the body now. And the body feels light. Body feels tension free. The mind feels light. And thoughts are much more still and slower. Okay. Thank you, everyone. And this is how we can play with this new consciousness of being this shining star, tiny being of light. Just use this awareness and shift it even while you're doing something. while you're working on your computer or while you're eating your food. Keep awareness of this new and check what are the bodily identities I'm trapped in, and just keep shifting. You will find that you are much lighter and easy that day. So enjoy and have a good night, and hope to see you all soon.